Hello folks and welcome back. Now the fixtures we've got remaining this season, this is one we cannot avoid, and of course we're coming straight off the back of our EFL Cup final victory versus Everton. Manchester City, our opposition, and you can see from the league table, if they were to beat us today, oh dear, it starts to get a little bit close. Of course we will keep an eye on what happens with Chelsea. They play Thames FC. It's worth noting as well, Manchester United and Arsenal having really poor seasons. I don't really know what's going on there. Liverpool are also kind of out of it as well, so they're not much of a concern, but the game in hand that we have now over Chelsea and over City could be huge. And of course, beating City today, it would almost rule them out of the title chase. Sorry, I almost said the transfer window. They're never ruled out of a transfer window. It almost rules them out of a title race. And I thought we'd just have a little focus in on how our team are performing so far this year. Average rating wise, there's three men that are doing absolute bits for me. Randrup, Ishmael and Agonovic are playing so good. Like this is basically what we needed to compete at this level. Goal wise, it's ridiculous. Like I know he was good last year, and this really doesn't do justice to how good he was. 27 in 35 starts was actually far better than the 13 in 26. But this year, he's gone up a level. You know, we've paid big money, and we're getting performances as a result. Randrup is continually a surprise to me. Bought him from Copenhagen after thinking he's never going to be that good for me. Of course, average rating wise, it's difficult to match an 8.23 on a regular basis. But so far this year, and not really seeing the whole story, but just on these league stats, he's got 24 assists in all competitions. Like, it's ridiculous, really. He's actually not got that many in the Premier League when you consider how many he's got elsewhere. It's a crazy number. Agonovic on the other side, it's a similar story. Again, the assist charts are just outrageous. And this is the man we want to talk about right now. Joseph Abo, who last year, I mean, it didn't really put in the performances I was hoping for, it's fair to say. This year, already got 10 goals, 6 assists as well. Again, 13 and 13 in all the competitions. It tells a bigger story. And finally, the man that we paid all the money for is coming good. Hopefully then, this does continue. Now, going into a game against Manchester City, let's not forget, we're underdogs in this situation. If you look at the season preview, there's a reason we're way behind them. They are the favourites for this league title. Defensively, they're really good. They've got one of the best defenders I've ever seen in Football Manager. I'll say now, when the wide centre back, comes in next year, this is the kind of guy you would absolutely play there. He would be phenomenal in that role. He's already a superb libero, so the ball playing defender, the libero put together is going to be crazy. I personally can't wait to play an attacking libero and 2 attacking wide centre backs, and just leaving 1 DM to do everything. That's going to be great next year. But Tyler Reid, and of course we've got some England games coming up at the very end of this series. We'll have a little bit of England success hopefully, where I can hopefully crown my all of my achievements with some international success as well. But we're still in the March of 2024. Sorry, 2044, a lot further on than I predicted there. By the way, how many teams are 20 to 1 and 50 to 1? Very weird. Either way, this is where we could put a marker down. We had more players in the team. I'm getting very distracted. We had more players in the Dream 11 the other day. They've all gone now, annoyingly. Let's see then how we do against the City side that, as I say, are very good. Celia is as good as a bow, basically. That's how good he is. And hopefully then we can do the business in this league game. We need the victory. Team-wise for it then, Randrup's going to come back in on the right-hand side, and the rest of the lineup then pretty much picks itself. Reyes, I do love Reyes, but I mean, do you play him in a game like this, or does he just sit on the bench? I get, Salatiel or Reyes? I'm going to play Reyes. He's a much better player, but Salatiel does have this really good connection with Ngassam, it feels like. But we'll put him in there. Salatiel will make sure he's on the bench, and we'll also bring in a KCO as well, who can play a couple of defensive roles for us. So here we go then. It's the team that we're getting very familiar with. I know what people are thinking. They're going to get knackered by the end of the year, Ben, and you're going to regret it. But our run of fixtures in the league especially coming up are pretty soft. We play Liverpool second to last game. The rest of them are pretty routine, and the season so far has been rather routine. So hopefully those wins will come, and we will secure our first and only league title as a manager of a team called Thames. As here we go then, away at the Etihad. I know what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a very difficult game. Of course, last time we played them, that is a brilliant diving header. Last time we played them, they beat us, and it put our season into problematic circumstances. We've fought back. Chelsea have crumbled, and it's allowed us a way back in. But of course, beating City here will be a huge shot in the arm to the end of this season, as a brilliant tackle from Eddie Elso, as the ball is cleared, a little rushed, it's fair to say. We're almost one taking this today on a Sunday, so let's see how far we go with it. As there is Reid then, of course, a man I'm going to get to know even better. All of the sort of the top players at the big teams I'm going to get to know very, very well at the very end of the series, which is why I'm sort of noting them now as we go along. But I've not seen a better defender in the game this year than Reed at centre-back, as Simon racing forward. Do not foul him, but at least put a block in or something. Blimey, we let him get very far. The clearance comes in, and now you can see us trying to break away. Agonovic, you wonder if that was the highlight for the half, but Ishmael's in. So big chance. It's a brilliant save from Bastone. You're not getting past him. 2 minutes in, though. Action at either ends. Oh, there was a cut. Sorry, everyone. It happened. There's a corner. A bow. Short to Edielso. Are you going to get back off Edielso? To Reyes. Loads of space. Another corner. And we're applying a little bit of pressure here. These short corners have been brilliant for me in the whole save, really. It'd be interesting to see if they happen and work next year. It's very difficult when you play a new version of Football Manager to get used to the new way it operates. And, of course, this will be one of the big changes. Corners, like they've done a video recently, which I'll talk about in an upcoming video, about the fact that they're trying to reduce the power of the 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. And I've got news for you, viewers. That's kind of what we're using right now. So I hope it's true, because one of my things I hate about Football Manager at the moment is that to end up having success, you kind of need to come up with this formation and run it until the end of the series, but which I hate. Like, I love playing these different formations. I really love being a bit more creative with it, whether that be during online play, in streamer showdowns, or playing offline with different teams. Like, the fact it sometimes boils down to playing a version of this every time, I'm not really a fan of. I want to play three at the back systems. I want to play some sort of crazy attacking offensive plays, but you end up just using this, which is really strong, not against Man City, although they are using it as well, as they take a 1-0 lead after 15 minutes, and we are hitting a struggle patch again. Randrup's got himself injured as well. On the stroke of that goal, Elmer's going to come on, but how serious could that Randrup injury be? As Chelsea, by the way, lead at Thames, and of course we do have the game in hand now over these boys, so it'll all level out and we would have the same points of them just no matter what happens here. But of course this is the type of game that we could really do with winning, as Elmer's found his way through, and oh my word, he had a terrible shot last episode in the cup final. That one was, we're getting closer with him at least. Fired back to their goalkeeper, who's going to have to pick the perfect pass, and does so calmly towards Reed. We've got to be ready to try and win this back, but so far City look good. Again, I'm sort of paying attention to the movement they do in forward areas. They're making all these runs. As one comes in there, it's got to be a goal. Castillo just stands still, basically. That finishing from that striker is so bad. Yeah, again, close range goals to me. There's loads of things about the engine that I hope change for next year. I'm not one of these people that thinks they have to write an entirely new engine. That's just not the way that has to happen. I actually think the engine for FM is pretty good. I think some of the animations and the movement of the players has to improve, and that seemingly is something they've changed and worked on for 22. As that ball in is dangerous. Ishmael was there. So we're sort of just talking about FM at this point. I guess system-wise, there just has to be overall more variation. I really hope that becomes a thing, not just for players as well. Like, I hope the AIs pick up different tactics and try different things. Like, how often do you see a team in the Premier League, for example, play a diamond? Like, you don't see it too often, or a 4-2-3-1. Again, you don't see it all that often. I'd hope to see it a little bit more regularly. But when this system is so good, why bother? Celia with a brilliant strike. I mean, he's fired it through my goalkeeper. City are 2-0 up, and in one of the crucial games towards the end of the season, I debated whether we'd do this one or we'd go straight to Thames and Arsenal, but this is important because clearly this team aren't done yet. It's not just a two-way battle between ourselves and Chelsea, and the question you've got here is, I can't just sit here and let this happen. Like, what can we maybe change? Do we just slow everything down a little bit, try and be a little bit more clever? This is the thing, in recent games I've not really needed to. Like, the system has been so good, the performances have been so good, we've been destroying most sides, but now we might have to start being a little bit more clever, you know, slow it down a little bit, especially as the away sides. Don't just give the ball back to them relentlessly. That's not the way to go about things. That ball up towards Ishmael is not great as they clear it away. Are we going to be on that? We are. Now, this is where we've got to be a little bit more tactful, try and work into the penalty area, try and get Ishmael involved. It's something we switch to semi-regularly, so it's something I think we're definitely capable of. As Gil racing inside, he's not being fouled, he's just been tackled cleanly and fallen to the floor, and now Celia's in for another chance as they hit the post. Blimey, City are coming on strong here. 2-0. It's been a very even game, actually, but we are not winning it. Let's just go back just for a moment, and again, I want to see positionally, are City dominant in the game? Not really. So they're just having some real good opportunities. They're maybe having this man get a little bit too free in the centre. We might be able to force ourselves onto City a little bit more if we change up a few roles. If we go for a Mazzala, it'll be a bit more inclined to get forward, and with Reyes changing to box, we've got sort of those two players now pushing forward. I'd rather Ngassam be the Mazzala, though. He's just better in attacking areas. There's not too much else to change. You could change them to support duties in the hope that it would maybe get them a little bit more involved. I think we do that with Aganovic. We've done this before. We're getting him on the ball more, having him dribble past players seems to make sense. With Elmer, I kind of want him up there already to put crosses in if and when the time comes. Anyway, we'll see if we can fight back. 45 minutes to go. There's a lot of work to do. It has to be said, away at City, you're 2-0 down. He looks about 3 days offside, as they've got a man down behind the goal, City, so he might have to come off. He definitely looks like he's struggling, the left back. Hopefully it forces them into a change, although it'll only freshen them up, of course, as you've got a goal kick now. This is one of those games that you go into, you're never quite sure what's going to happen. I had one against Liverpool earlier this year. We won 7-1. I'm hoping in this one we can do a madness, as Alan down to Zenko, and they've got to say they look like they're in control of this game. But again, we are dangerous on counter-attacks. We've got a lot of speed on counter-attacks. Celia, Brazil's brilliant tackle, by the way. Can we now set ourselves up for something? As that ball forward looks a little hopeful. It's not hopeful, it's really poor, actually. And they've got a chance again. It's a brilliant pass to that side. It's a great save to just about keep us in it. They're not done yet, though. Another brilliant save. Castillo earning his money right now, but already conceded twice. It doesn't really matter. Elsewhere, goal at the Riverbank as Chelsea score against Thames. Of course, their goal difference still way down on us, but they have still got a chance at winning something this year in the league. And of course, we do not want to be the team to throw this away. A bow out towards Gill. Still lots of time left in this one, though, and we'll be able to wrestle this back as it's going to be kept in by Gill. Just about could have gone for a corner, but no, keeps it alive to the edge of the box. Maybe there's Elmer. It's not very good, and Gassam to Gill across to Aganovic. He's headed it down for a bow, who smashes home. I thought Aganovic. I say two different things every time. I don't know why he didn't score himself, but the cheekiness to knock it down here. He lays it on a plate for a bow. I don't think anyone sees this coming. Is it just a missed header? Or that looks intentional to me. A bow fires in then and working it into the box, being a little bit more passive. I guess, blimey, Chelsea are 4-0 up. Never mind 2-0, 4-0 up. We're working our way back in. Half an hour to go. Again, can we be that little bit more tactful? We don't have to give it away every single time, as that was a little bit dangerous. Reyes, though, the experience of him, deals with it. And now Joseph Abo racing forward. He's got options to his left and his right. Finds Aganovic in this supportive role. And this is what we want to see from him. Dribbling forward, trying to take players on occasionally. But Eddie also joins him in attack and gives it away. And he's going to have to race back to keep the ball alive. It feels like the momentum right now is certainly with us. The game seems to have swung a little bit in our favour. Elmer out to that right-hand side, maybe, as everyone pushes forward now. A bow's in for 2. Oh, he's got to score, right? Across the keeper, drill it hard and low, but no. Still 2-1. And a one-off game, which sometimes they can be. I want to go into this. I'm thinking, I'm doing one game here. This is 0-0. We've got a 6-minute video as we've blocked it on the line, I think. The Aganovic just gone for it, and we've stopped it. Oh my goodness me. End-to-end, I say end-to-end stuff. We are dominant right now. I'm going to encourage the boys. A goal here would be big for us against. I can't mention it enough. We've got the game in hand, but you don't want to be chasing, really. You'd rather be out from the front, trying to extend the lead, I feel like. As City come forward again, we've not seen much from them in the last couple of minutes, but they're a constant threat, remember. So much quality in this side. He cuts it inside. Castillo palms it over. 2-1. City corner, 75 minutes to go. I don't necessarily think there's a change out there for us. Ishmael for Ermentrout feels like the only one, but Ishmael's been so good in clutch situations this season. I feel like I took him off in the last game, or a couple of episodes ago, and that was a big mistake. We're not going to make the same mistake today. As the ball out to that right-hand side ends the highlight. A bow caught a free kick, played in. It's a little bit easy, but hopefully if he clears this too quickly, we might be able to head this back and start something of our own, and that is exactly what's happened. But Gill gives it away. No, not there. Flipping egg. City dominant in the centre, by the way. They've got so many players in the middle, as their width is almost non-existent, it feels like, as they're trying to burst inside every single time. This time, though, they do go down the line as Reyes. Oh, he's just too old, apparently. Has given away the foul. Castillo, we need you to be a hero. 15 to go. It's City 2, Thames 1, and they might be about to wrap this game up. City 2, Thames 1. As here we go then. It's Celia to probably win the game for City. Castillo doesn't even move. Flipping heck. Very frustrating. A very, very frustrating game. One that I feel like we were definitely... I mean, it's not over yet. 15 minutes to go. The lack of effort from Castillo there is terrifying. The Chelsea's goal difference as well is improving with a big win away at Thames. Oh, I guess we should probably go for this. Although our momentum, I feel like a goal at that point in the game just absolutely kills it. We'll move the bow slightly further back. Herman tried to come on with Ismail. We need a miracle. It's happened before. We've scored late goals before, but we need a miracle now. We need a goal now. And if it doesn't come from this highlight, I think the dream is probably dead. And actually, you'd probably back City to score a fourth, wouldn't you, at this stage? McIntosh has got it, lays it off to Allen. And City now, just the extra man in midfield that we've taken out of there, just have a little bit more time as that ball across is cut out easily by Castillo. Not nearly close enough to Celia. Again, still time. We need it to happen now. It's always back and forth. You never know. Godovic, Ishmael, this is the big chance. This is why he's still on the pitch, viewers, to score the goals, and he doesn't. And that was the moment. 4 minutes of added time, 5 minutes overall. It feels like it's gone, doesn't it? We'll play the short corner. They're not picking it up. They don't care. So this gives us a little bit of time to run into the area. Oh, never mind. Forget it then. As the game is going to end. And again, a big side. We're coming up against a big team, and we're throwing it away a little bit. It's an away game. It's a tough away game against the favourites for the league. Like, on one level, you can't be too disappointed. We're still in a strong position, but it's a momentum thing. We've been carrying some really good form throughout this year, and that is a huge roadblock in our campaign to want to win this. Again, we've still got a battle on our hands. 10 games to go now. And let's just show you again, for those that have forgotten, our run-in as the injury to Randrup. Please don't be severe. It could be. It's not so. It's season ending. It's season ending. Torn hamstring. I only said yesterday he's my favourite player in the save. And now he's going to miss the run-in. He might be back for the very, very last couple of games at the end of the year. If it's 2 months, he might just make it back for anything at the back end of the season. You never know. Speaking of them, this is our run-in. Now, Arsenal and Thames, tough games, but neither of them are having scintillating seasons. In terms of tough games, that Liverpool squad away at Anfield is still very difficult. We have a FA Cup quarter-final against Liverpool as well. I think we'll come back. I think we'll ignore Arsenal and Thames. We'll see how the Champions League games, assuming we get through against Marseille, level out. But I'm thinking around sort of this Leicester Derby Bournemouth before the end of game running later this week. Blimey, still lots of work to be done here. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're looking forward to the climax of this season, and I'm hoping we can bring you a league title. That is just one of those games. I'll see you again for more then. We love with care. 10 to go. Not even now. 9 to go. 9 to go. 10 to go. Still 10 to go.